So I haven't actually even gone into this yet. So this is like exclusive.
Exclusive.
Right here,
Only on At The Time podcast.
I'll give you a hot take.
Go on.
Pep Guardiola could take any of top 10 teams, and within 2 seasons he could win the league.
15 years later,
Yeah.
what would you say is your best position?
If the gaffer's watching, yeah, it's attacking
Which he
mid.
should be.
It's attacking mid, number 10. Yeah. None of this CDM stuff. Yeah. God bless my wife, because I've been married 8 years and I'm married to the game as well. So it's like it's very difficult.
Yes, my people, we are back with the Added Time podcast hosted by me, Ibs, and today we've got a special video with a special guest. But let me introduce on my left, we've got the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Consistent, Zayn.
I was going to say I'm back again. I must have most appearances at this point.
Yeah, you might be club captain.
What
but
an honour.
he just came back from a media exam. He said what did you say?
It weren't great. But if anyone else is sitting A-level media at AQA, put in the comments what you thought.
This is a football podcast.
Engagement.
But opposite him, we've got a special person. Let them gas him up real quick. Nearly 60k followers on TikTok, over 1.5 million likes. We've got AB30 Anas.
Thank you for having me, man. Excited to be here. Excited to give some hot takes, hopefully, and get rinsed in the comments afterwards.
You don't want to be rinsed. Last time he got.
You don't want to know.
You don't want to. You don't know one.
Listen, I'm used to getting rinsed, so don't worry about it. We'll see what the people say. It's all good.
Nah, he's one of the. I'd say he's the second best football player in the Beds leagues after me, obviously. No, I'm playing, but he's very, very good. He's good on the pitch, but let's see if he's good on the podcast. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we can back up the talk here.
But
as
yeah,
well.
now the season's over. Today's episode, we're talking about. Well, I've asked Snapchat to give us some hot takes, some football unpopular opinions. Gonna get the mandem to let us know, review it. But also, we've got some questions for AB as well. And we're starting a new thing today. I'll get on later. But let's talk about the season quickly. We all support different teams.
Yeah.
We'll start with your team.
A great second half of the season.
Do you want to have a guess who you support?
Chelsea.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah, from where we started, and there was a point where I was just so like, wow, this is just awful and like appalling. And then I think certain players, Caicedo, Jackson, had this real re-uptake in form, and luckily we got to the Europa League, which some form of Europe is better than nothing, isn't it?
I get it. But where does form come from, though? Because first half of the season you've been awful.
You know what's weird, and this poses a problem for Chelsea? It was when Enzo got injured, Caicedo started playing a lot better without Enzo.
Yeah.
And I think that poses a problem because then they either have to sell Enzo, because I see more potential in Caicedo than Enzo. I like Enzo,
Yeah.
but it's do you sell a £105 million player
Yeah.
after his like first or second season? And it is a dilemma. And then Jackson as well. Obviously, he had some horrible sitters. Reminded me of Timo Werner. But he started scoring, and his assist as well. So for Caicedo's goal, he put a beautiful ball through for Sterling, and then it bounced back to Caicedo. But you see, he's getting a lot better for his first season in the Prem. I'm quite happy.
Yeah. Better than Hoyland?
I'd say right now, yeah.
No, don't be silly. I'll talk about my team, but I'm good, I'm actually alright. Our season ain't finished yet. It finishes next week.
Yeah.
But
Let's be real. Your season's finished already.
Yeah.
No. Whoa. Everyone knows when it comes to football, anything can happen. You
Fair
know
enough.
this.
Yeah,
You should know
100%,
this. You know what I mean?
100% now.
When you go up 2-0 up and you end up losing 3-2. Do you know what I mean?
Of course, 100%.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
But let's talk about Arsenal, though.
Yeah, let's talk about Arsenal, man. It's disappointing. Obviously, we wanted to win the league. We wanted to win the league. And you can look at what we've done this season, and you can take positives from it.
Yeah.
In terms of what we did in 2024, we lost one game, that Villa game, which undone us, unfortunately. But other than that, the form was just, immaculate. Yeah. Just win after win after win. And that's what put us back into the title race, because if you look sort of first half of the season, we were in and about there, but it wasn't the same as last season, sort of thing. So disappointing we didn't get it over the line, but when you're up against City, it's
I'm seeing a lot of Arsenal fans saying they're not really disappointed. But if I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be devastated. Like after what happened last season, obviously bottled the league, in April.
Listen, I'll accept we bottled the league last season, but this season I won't accept
No,
that.
this season that
bottle
City
the
team
league.
are just
yeah.
It's
they're
too much. And like you talk about disappointment. It's the hope that kills.
Yeah.
So being up against City, you don't really
Yeah.
get your hopes up that much. So the
Yeah.
disappointment side of things, we weren't really expecting West Ham to do us a favour yesterday. So
When Kudo scored, how gassed were you?
I got a bit excited. I got a bit excited, but I didn't get too carried away. Like.
Yeah,
But
I hear
yeah.
it. Overall, it was a good Premier League season. A decent title race. Obviously, my team was shocking. Comment down below if you support Man United. If you do, I feel bad for you. Do you know what I mean?
Can I just
Go on.
interject there quickly? I think what really highlights it is how badly Chelsea started and how everyone was bantering Chelsea about their form, etc. Even United fans were on that boat. And then Chelsea's turnaround, and I think we'll take credit for that. That 5-0 drubbing, it was terrible. But since then, the form's been
unbelievable.
Back-to-back wins. The form's been impeccable for Chelsea, and you can see Pochettino's started to really turn it around. And I think for next season, there's
I'm confident. I'm like top 4 should.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Clip it.
That's already happened. That 5-0.
I saw it. Don't worry, I saw it.
He knows. Oh, that was atrocious. But yeah, no, I'm confident for next season. I think
So am I.
this is a young. this is a young team. Obviously, if you give them time, and I think at this point give Poch time as well, I'm pretty confident for next season.
Yeah.
I want to know, when a couple seasons ago, when Arteta had those back-to-back 8th place finishes,
Yeah.
honestly, what were you thinking? Were you thinking he needs to go, or were you thinking let's stick with him?
It gets.
Great question.
It's a very good question, but it gets to the point where, do you just become a carousel for managers as a team, and then, you go into freefall in a sense of you don't really gain any identity or anything like that. So we had Emre, and I feel like if we gave Emre the time that we gave Arteta, maybe we would have had a season or two sort of quicker into the position that we're in currently. But when we got to that point, I just felt like we had to ride it out, because he was in a process where he was clearing out the squad, and you could see that was the plan. You could see the old players that he was getting rid of. When you've got when the squad or the club turned into sort of like a Chelsea retirement team, that can't happen. And if you want to achieve things as a club, you have to have young, hungry players that buy into the manager's sort of ethos. And it's like, if you try telling an Aubameyang or a Lacazette or a David Luiz, you got to put the work in and all of that stuff. It's very difficult when they're on sort of the back end of their careers. Yeah. So it did get to a point where it's like, well, we're in the dregs at the moment, so we might as well ride it out and see what happens. And I'm very confident moving forward. We're gonna, stay with the pack at the top.
So next season, you're expecting to win the league.
Expecting's a big word.
All right. How about this then? After the last 2 seasons, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously finished second both. Yeah. How do you think you're going to win the league next season? What do you think Arteta should do? What kind of signing should Arsenal make?
We need a number 9. We need a 20 goals Premier League. Yeah.
We talked about this last week actually. Azan also on the podcast supports Arsenal. He said he'd take Ivan Toney.
Ivan Toney, I know he was in great form, but he's not seasoned in the Premier League where he's done it for 5 years and he's got 20 goals a season. He sort of dropped off for the second half of the season. I know obviously he started in January, so really it was quite difficult for him to hit the ground running.
Exactly.
But we need a proven goal scorer, and I think maybe he sort of breaks the rules a little bit where he gets that sort of that talisman that maybe doesn't follow the rules like the rest of the club, because goals up top is what we need. We need a goal threat. I think the rest of the squad is solid, and I think even the squad depth. We haven't got the squad depth sort of to the level of City. But even yesterday when Gabriel had to come off, and we brought on Zinchenko and sort of slotted, I think it was Tomiyasu into centre back. It's I'm happy with that level of squad depth. You know, that the fact that you're able to bring Zinchenko off of the bench, as much as I'm not his biggest fan, but the squad depth is getting there. So I think we just need 1 or 2 signings in like key areas, and that, you know, number 9 up top. And I think we should.
A realistic number 9 you would sign for Arsenal, who'd it be?
To be fair, I was gunning for Osimhen in January, but making that sort of signing, you know, mid-season, especially when you got sort of Champions League to think about as well, he would have been cup tied. I'd like to see him in Arsenal colours, but I feel like the striker scene nowadays isn't what it was like maybe 5 years ago when you had sort of, you know, your Benzemas, your Lewandowskis, your, you know, all of these different strikers that you could pick from if you wanted to make that signing.
But to be fair, the strikers nowadays are still quite young.
Yeah.
Osimhen's only still 24.
Yeah.
Even Haaland's young. Jackson's young.
Jackson. Threw Jackson in there. Like,
had to do it.
What about Højlund? 21, 16. I'm saying you right now, Højlund was not a flop this season.
No, I think I like the energy he has for United, but I think it's unfortunate that he's in that club at the moment.
I think for Højlund, the issue is, I saw a clip the other day where they were comparing the fact that, you know, even Cristiano Ronaldo, when he was at United, wasn't getting the service that he needed. So it's like Højlund, like you said, great energy, great player, but I just feel like with United, it's just all a bit.
Yeah, so you can't do much if you've got Anthony on the right side, do you know what I mean? But to be fair with you, like I said last week and the week before and the week before, is the injuries. If we had Luke Shaw, I remember a couple of seasons ago he was top assister for the club. He would be crossing the ball from the left back. So I think it's unfortunate we had this many injuries. Maybe next season I think we'll be back. Hopefully. Don't want to jinx it.
I don't know. Do you know what it is with United? It's just I don't see that identity. Like, I don't see what they're trying to do, in all honesty. Like, back end of the season for Chelsea, you can sort of start to see what they're doing. I think Palmer is a revelation. Yeah, and I want to see him do it next season and sort of get a couple of seasons of that kind of form under his belt, because I think he's a special player, man. And anybody who comes, you know, saying about, pens.
Such a silly argument, isn't it?
Look, obviously, I play football at no sort of level, but, you know, to put away a pen is still a nerve-wracking thing. Yeah, it's not an easy thing. So to do that, he hasn't missed a pen, right? No, exactly. So in his professional career, he's not missed a penalty.
I love this guy. That's great.
I'm not a Chelsea fan. Don't get twisted.
This guy's a detective. He's a spy. He supports Chelsea. This guy's.
But like,
he's gassing up Palmer more than Saka.
Pens are difficult, man. So to be that young, to still, you know, to carry the club on his shoulders,
essentially, especially first half of the season, we had nothing apart from him.
So he's a special player, yeah, for sure.
I think for United, we're going to be getting rid of a lot of players. I think you're going to see a lot of players be gone, but I think the recruitment has to be good. Like, I'm hearing Elise. I'd love Elise in my team.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? A new centre back. I can't lie to you. We do need different positions.
What do you do about Anthony now, though? 80 mil.
Oh, you can get sold. I don't care if you lose 50 mil.
You cut your losses on that. It's like with us with Pepe. You know, he had a few seasons, and he just wasn't.
Got to a point,
Yeah, it's just like see you later type thing.
So every fan doesn't enjoy Anthony. So I don't know what the staff see in Anthony. I don't know what the coaches see in Anthony. Do you see anything in Anthony?
He's not a game changer. He's not, you know, he's.
I mean,
I keep seeing his face when he comes.
I know when he came in for Arsenal, bro.
I saw that.
I can't take him seriously anymore. And then I feel like Sancho's gonna go. I do. He deserves to go. He's performing for Dortmund, maybe sign on Dortmund. But moving on from the Premier League, because we've still got the FA Cup and the Champions League to talk about soon. Let's get to some questions. I've got some questions for you, actually.
Here we go.
All right, so my first question.
Yeah.
How long have you been playing grassroots football?
Grassroots football. I think the first Sunday League game I played was when I was 15 years old.
Damn.
So that was 15 years ago.
How long ago? 20 years ago?
15 years. So yeah, quite some time. And that was the first sort of taste of adult football. Yeah. Even before that, I was never really a youth player. I only played with pals. I used to be a goalkeeper, and then the goals got bigger, but I
Yeah.
didn't. So yeah, I had to find a new role, and I started playing out on pitch, a bit of six-a-side, indoor football, that sort of thing. And
Yeah, of
then
course.
so 15
Yeah.
long years.
Damn, 15 long years. And did you start in Milton Keynes or?
So I'm a Bedford boy,
Oh,
Bedford
right.
born and bred.
Oh,
So
right.
my local team, Kempston Town.
Yeah.
I started Sunday League for various different teams, literally talking pub league, sort of terrible football. And then I started Saturday football with Kempston Town. And I stayed with them for a decade, yeah. So for 10 years I stayed with them before I decided to jump ship and join the lads I'm with now, yeah.
Yeah, so when you first started, so you said you're a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And then after that
So I ventured out, just tried. I did what I think every player does, and I'm a striker. I just want to score goals. And then I think I got put out left mid because I was sort of the youngest and the quickest back then. And then I played left mid, left wing back, for like a long period of time until I drifted into like an attacking mid type of role. And then since I started playing in the middle of the park, that was it. I don't have the legs for out wide anymore.
15 years later,
what
would you say is your best position?
If the gaffer's watching, it's attacking
Which he
mid.
should be.
It's attacking mid, number 10. Yeah. None of this CDM stuff. Yeah.
Nah, because I've seen your clips. You've been playing CDM, right?
Yeah,
You've been playing right back. I'm pretty sure. So you're playing right back.
Do you know the issue is? I say it's an issue, but I like to think I'm a player that shows like good attitude. So in training, on the pitch, that sort of thing. So you become a bit of like a utility player to a manager. So if he ever needs you to do a job, I need you to do right back, or I need you to play here, or even CDM, like that was the situation this season. So Sundays are sort of it's easier to play a bit deeper role because the game's a lot slower on a Sunday. So I didn't find it too difficult, but on Saturdays it was tough work.
Sure. I don't think I want to see you striker because you know what clip I'm talking about.
Which one? Oh, the one from like 2 yards out. You mean?
I forgot. You've seen it?
That's him. Let me explain. Now we were in Harlington for that game.
Yeah.
It's some, country pitch. The pitch is sloping that way.
Harlington's crazy.
Yeah. I'll blame the bobble, but really, from 2 yards out, even with a bobble, you should still find the net.
He's mic'd up on the game. As soon as he misses, he goes, "Oh, I should have scored that."
Bro, honestly,
because you mic'd up, you can hear him.
Honestly, man, terrible miss, man.
Nah, that's crazy. All right, I got a question. I don't know if you can answer this actually.
Mm-hmm.
The most difficult team you've played against?
Oh, most difficult team. At grassroots sort of level?
Grassroots level.
Because when I was like 19, I joined this scholarship academy. I was trying to go out to America to play.
All right.
So I have played against like some higher teams. And I think the most difficult team I ever played against was Barnet under 21s.
All right, Barnet, yeah.
And that was like when I really, really realised there's levels. Like there are levels to this game. Like I felt very lost on that pitch, man. And even me, like I like to be fit. I like to be the fittest player on the pitch. Yeah. And I just felt like I was getting, ran off the pitch. It was a tough game, man. Tough game.
Yeah. Barnet's under 21s.
The way they drill those academy players is a joke.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, especially nowadays as well, it's like it's kind of disappointing that kids, they don't just get to like express themselves how they want to on a football pitch. Like you got to play a role. That's just the way the game's going, I suppose. They get coached a certain way. Yeah. Like even I see a lot of kids on Instagram, like their parents start a page for them, and they're drilling them in the back garden. Don't get me wrong, like I love to see like hard work and all that stuff is great, but just let them go out on the field and kick the ball and just, like we used to back in the day.
Kind of vibes.
Yeah, even in academies, from let's say you join the academy at the age of 8, you're going to be trained to play a certain way.
Yeah.
And then let's say at 18 you get released. I think it's quite brutal actually, because then where do you go from there? At 18, if you're in
100%.
the academy, you're
Yeah.
thinking, oh, I'm going pro here. And I think to get cut at that age especially is just brutal.
So I read an article in The Athletic, this was a couple of years back, about a player, a Manchester United academy player. I think he was 18 as well. Got released, and obviously the process of getting released, like they just get chopped.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then the following day, it's like they've gone from being so, organized, and I've got training match day, this and that, and they got to eat a certain way and train a certain way and all this stuff. And then the following day, that's it.
There was
You
a
know,
City
yeah.
player, Jeremy Wiston. I wrote an article on him. Sadly, killed himself after
Yeah.
being
Terrible,
released from
man.
City, and it's tragic because I don't know how the support is after the pastoral support for helping them adapt to their new life essentially.
Yeah.
But it's obviously not there, and I think there need to be like regulations and standards on it.
I think in recent years they have made a point that they're trying to do something about it, but even still, like it's a major shock. And it's like when you think, well, you guys are that age. But when I think back to when I was 18, something like that would be a car crash event in your life,
Yeah.
and you think that's it, life's over. Do you know what I mean? What else am I supposed to do? And the difference between, let's say, playing in an academy, playing at under 23 level or whatever, and then the non-league, talking like national league and all of that stuff, it's a difference in the sense of the game's different. Like it's a lot more physical, national league, so you try and take an academy player and chuck him in, sometimes they're not just going to take to the game. Like obviously they're very talented players, and you'd really expect them to, but it's a that non-league down the ladder, it's a different game to what they're used
I've
to.
got a friend who plays for Leighton Town. I think their first team
Okay.
step 4.
Yeah.
Charles at Colchester and Stockport. I don't like to gas him up, but he's obviously incredibly talented, and he got through to like the last step, and there he didn't get it. And it just goes to show how high the level is, even for an academy like Stockport, which isn't prestigious or anything.
Yeah.
It's just the level is so high to not make that. I think it's cutthroat.
It is. But when you look at the percentages as well, in terms of how many kids go into academies and how many kids actually make it pro, it's like you're talking point percentages. You're not even talking like, full numbers here. So professional football is, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's hard to get in. But next question: when did you start TikTok, and what made you want to start your type of content?
Oh, that's a very good question. So
Thank you.
good question. So quite a few years ago, I used to do content creation. I used to be a PT, and I used to do content creation with a couple lads from North London. And I always enjoyed making content.
Yeah.
But PTing, personal training is like not my passion. I could make content for it, but it wasn't like something that I was passionate about. But football is like, I love football. It's like, God bless my wife, because I've been married 8 years and I'm married to the game as well. So it's like, it's very difficult. And she's very patient.
Yeah.
So I play a lot of football, whatever sort of level it is. And I always wanted to do some form of content creation in football. But then the thing that was stopping me was like, nope, like who's going to care about Sunday League or like local football? Do you know what I mean? So like to have somebody stood on the sidelines filming your games, I thought, it would be wild to do that. And then like 2 years ago, a couple lads that I know started a podcast about Bedfordshire football, specifically called the Bedfordshire Football Podcast. And then I was surprised at how many people tuned in.
One of them.
There you go. So it's like
I was waiting for them to mention my name.
There you go. and that's the thing. So it's like after match day.
I'm pretty sure they did a couple of times as well.
There you go.
Ibs as well scored 4 goals today. Wolves did. Do you know what I mean?
So it's like they go through all the results, and it's like people play the game and then they tune into the podcast because they want to listen to it. And I thought, hold on a minute, like people actually do care about grassroots, like as much as I don't think so. So I started the TikTok, I think it was last July. And in the beginning it was like mainly training videos, sort of what like amateur footballers, like what type of things you should be doing to get match fit and all of that stuff. So it was started in pre-season, and a couple of like advice speaking videos and all that stuff. And then we got the match day content started when the season started. and then obviously the stuff where you can hear me on the pitch. That started in January. So the TikTok momentum was really slow until January, and then I had one post where a woman on the sideline.
That's the video that came up before you finished. So that's the first time I ever saw you.
That's the one, yeah. And that was in Luton as well.
Yeah, Limano, was it?
Yeah, that's
the one. I recognised the pitch. I said, I swear that's Luton. Who's this guy?
that's the one. That's the one. And then from that I started to get a bit of momentum, and then over the last couple of months it just sort of took off. So yeah, man. So less than a year we're at with the content creation.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Got a serious question.
Okay.
I think you know what's gonna happen now. I think you on a TikTok live about it, the FA.
Ah, yes.
Have they banned you yet? Or why are they threatening to ban you?
So I haven't actually even got into this yet. So this is like exclusive.
Exclusive.
Right here,
only on At The Time podcast.
So this is exclusive, but I was planning to do a post. I was planning to go live about it, but then I just thought, you know what? Like, this is probably a good setting to speak about it.
Yeah.
So the issue with the Beds FA is they believe, or they have reason to believe, that I'm wearing electronic equipment on the pitch.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what would give them that sort of idea, but essentially they emailed the club and they emailed me to say, we have reason to believe you're wearing this equipment. If you continue posting that content, you'll be at risk of being suspended and fined, and the club will be, at risk of being fined as well. And the funny thing is, they didn't really care about it when I had 750 followers. But, when it starts blowing up and, a lot of people start seeing these videos, I think that's when they took issue. And I don't think it's the Beds FA themselves that took issue with it. I think maybe a couple of referees that have, got caught up in my content. And, maybe a few poor decisions that they've made have got blown up in the comments as well. Because they said that a referee has reported me for it. But the funny thing is, a referee has never seen me wearing electronic equipment.
All right.
Nobody has seen me wearing electronic equipment. And I'd still put it to the Beds FA to say, if you've got proof of me wearing electronic equipment other than what you claim is, my content, then I'd love to see it. So yeah, I think it was a referee that maybe didn't like the way they were being portrayed in a video. And I received that email the day before the game, the last game of the season against Oakley. And then when I arrived at that game, the referee came up to me sort of about 10 minutes before kickoff, and he said, "I'm going to have to search you."
Damn.
Yeah. He said,
stops the search.
literally, he said, "I'm going to have to search you because of this email thread, etc., etc." He showed me, and I said, "Look, I'm going to stop you right there, because if a police officer, on the street said he's going to have to search me," I said, "unless you've got reasonable grounds, then I'll politely, this is it, I'll politely decline your search as well, officer." Yeah. So as a referee, like, do you have the power to do this? Like, I just want you, to be sure before you do this.
Yeah.
And he said, "Look, basically the league have asked me to do it. And if you don't comply, or if you get caught continuing doing what you're doing, you could be subject to a lifetime ban."
Damn.
So when he said lifetime ban, I said, "All right, cool. Can I speak to somebody else about this before the game? Because, like, this is crazy. Like, the fact that you're threatening a lifetime ban, like, I've gone through the rules. I've read the rules. Even if I am to be wearing electronic equipment, it's just the same as if you're wearing, like, if you're wearing an Apple Watch or a ring or a bit of jewelry. Like, if the ref sees you doing that, they just ask you to step off the pitch, adjust your equipment, and then you come back on the pitch. So the fact that I got threatened with a lifetime ban was just...
That's crazy.
So what do you think it is they're worried about? Is it the way they're coming across in these videos?
I think it's like... look, and I'm not here to talk down on referees, because, like, refereeing is so difficult, and it's like, I'm a very mouthy guy on the pitch, so like I'm usually the one that's giving it, unfortunately. But referees do receive a lot of abuse on the pitch, and you get a lot of refs stopping doing what they love because of the abuse. Now, I'd like to think that I don't abuse refs, but I am in their ear quite a lot, and it can get annoying. I mean, you've seen the videos. You hear me. It's jarring. Let's be honest, yeah. But I think the refs union probably have come together, and they're not fans of it, you know.
Yeah.
But for me, like, if anything, you know, I've got one video that's had 3.5 million different people see the video. Like, in no world are 3.5 million people gonna watch a Beds FA County Football League game. So if anything, if I was the Beds FA, I'd give me a call and say, look, how can we work together to bring more eyes on the league, bring more eyes on grassroots football?
Because I think that's what it is. I think that's what your page is. You're actually bringing in viewers and that are looking at the league. And I don't think that's a...
I know, it could be good for the
definitely
league,
not-
100%. You saw it with Ben Foster kind of thing, right?
100%.
That brought, I think, a lot more eyes to the Championship, without a doubt.
100%.
And I think even if the Prem had let him continue doing it, I think it would have brought more eyes to the Prem. Obviously not that it needs it, but... do you know what I mean?
But like in a different way. And it's like that part of the reason why I wanted to do the stuff where you can like hear me on the pitch is so much stuff gets missed out from just like filming
100%.
games. Like you play, so you understand. There's so much chat between players, chat with the ref. And part of the game is like trying to get in players' heads and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So it just gives like an added element to the content, and it allows people who are watching to get like an inside view of what's going on the pitch, because like this sort of stuff happens all the way up the pyramid. It's not just grassroots football where people, you know, talk in each other's ears. Like, I'm pretty sure professionals try and get in each other's heads.
Yeah, 100% without
you know, do the mind game stuff. So that was part of the idea behind it. So yeah, we'll see how we adjust moving forward. And
Just want to tell Beds FA, free Anas.
Look, I've played in the Beds FA for the last 15 years in like different shapes or forms. So obviously, I'm not trying to like, you know, butt heads with them or go against them. I'd love to work with them and get as many eyes on, you know, local football as possible.
As you should.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I'm just imagining you watching the Champions League semi-final, receiving an email saying, lifetime ban.
Literally.
If that was me, I'd be like, what?
Horror.
Last question. I don't know if Zayn has any questions for you, but who's the most famous person you've met, footballer?
Oh, famous footballer.
I'm sure you've met someone.
I've met a few, to be fair. I've met a few. So I went on holiday with some friends a few years ago to Miami. And that, I think, is like footballer central.
Yeah.
I met Gabby Agbonlahor. I met Ryan Babel.
Don't want him on the podcast.
I met Genie Wijnaldum.
Yeah.
And then like over here, I met Divock Origi as well. And over here, I met Jermaine Genus of Toddington Services.
No way.
Yeah. So I think he was driving to a BT Sport like thing. I don't know if it was Champions League or what it was that night. But yeah, I've met a handful actually.
Toddington Server, I would never have expected.
So
that.
random.
I met Dele Alli, and he was in Luton.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard about this, but it's Dele Alli and Kyle Walker-Peters, and they played in .NET at Stoke Street.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This was a few years ago. So basically, someone's posting a story, and you see the whole Luton going to the Stoke Street pitches.
I've met Fred at Winter Wonderland when I was like 14. I think that was it. Yeah.
Fred.
He didn't speak a word of English either. So he's there, and his wife is there, and she's just translating for us, kind of thing. So I see me and my friend are in the queue for the ride, and we see him come in, and they go like, "Oh, do you reckon that's?" So we let like 5 people go in front of us, so we can be next to him, so we can be in his carriage for the ride.
Fair enough. Do you have any questions?
I was gonna say, so I'm thinking of 2. Simple one. Most famous non-football league met, like, or through the TikTok specifically. Is there anyone?
What, through TikTok?
Yeah.
Ooh. Do you know what? I haven't met anyone so far. I've got a charity match coming up June the 9th at Bedworth United Football Club, if anybody's interested. And there's some TikTok names on there. There's Mashtag Brady. There's Mark Goldbridge. He's going to be playing.
Mark Goldbridge.
He's actually on my team. He's my skipper.
No way.
Yeah. Bevo's going to be playing there. So there's a couple of names there. So I haven't like, the TikTok stuff has happened so like quickly in the last couple of months. Like I said, from January to now, really, that's where it like took off. So yeah, I haven't really met anyone as of yet. So yeah, we'll see after the first event, and yeah.
How often do you get recognised? Because I was going to my boys, I was like, "Oh, we've got AB30 on the pod," and they like pretty much all knew who you were.
So
does it happen or?
So this is a funny one. Like if it's ever like a football event, I'll usually get like a handful of people coming up to me. Like the last couple of like charity games and friendly games, I had kids coming up to me asking for pictures, which was a bit like, you know, the first time it happened, I was just, I didn't even know. I was like, yeah, I suppose, you know, like, why would you want a picture of me, you know? But yeah, so I get recognized here and there. And then I think the first time when I was out with my friends and then somebody recognized me like solely from TikTok, they were a bit like baffled. Like,
yeah, it must be quite surreal.
It's like I said, because it's happened like in such a short space of time as well. You know, I'm not media trained or people trained or anything like that. So it's all very fresh. Like what you see is what you get with me.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
So, yeah,
but mashallah, man, you deserve it for real.
Thank you,
100%.
man. Appreciate that.
Last one though.
Okay.
Any advice to the people that want to start TikTok or just anything in general?
Okay. My main thing would be consistency, man. Like there's so many times, like even now, where I put stuff out and, you know, I second guess myself or whatever. But I think whatever you're doing in life, it doesn't matter. It can be content creation. It can be starting up a business or whatever. You just have to remain consistent throughout the whole process, because there's going to be a lot of times where it's not going the way you want it to go. You know, if it's content creation we're talking about, in the beginning, everything I posted, you know, you get 5 likes, 10 likes and that sort of thing. Like, you don't just blow up straight away. And there were times throughout that period where I was just like, you know what, I'm going to sack this off and just go back to playing football without worrying. So yeah, just continue through the difficult periods. And even when you do hit a bit of success as well, there will still be difficult periods. So like, you just have to remain consistent. Yeah, don't get lazy with the work through the difficult periods. And then it will pay off. Like, God willing, it will pay off at some point, 100%.
That's some good words, you know. But let's move on to the hot takes now.
Okay, I'm excited for this.
Okay.
I want to know what kind of people you got on your Snap.
I can't lie to you. I'm going through my Snapchat. That'd be so real. I realised they're all deleted. I had to get some good ones out. City Centurions is the best Premier League team in history. Mustafa says that. They got Mustafa.
In history.
I got to think about it. Got to think about how you could justify it as well.
No, that's for you man to decide. But I'm ready. 3, 2, 1. Oh, hey, no one put the hand up. So you don't think City are the best? Or that's the 100-point team is the best in Premier League history?
You know what it is? I was thinking about it. And I think it's purely my own personal bias thing, because I thought...
You were just going to say that Chelsea.
04, 05,
yeah. Of course you
Is
were.
that the conceded 12
yeah,
goals?
it was like 15 goals, lost 1 game.
There you
I was
go.
like, can't. Do you know what I mean?
It's like, it's difficult because there's so many teams that you could put forward. I'll put the Invincibles in there just because, you know.
I mean, you have to.
You have
to. They haven't they didn't lose a game. In the
so there's a few teams, but like, I would gravitate as well, and I can't believe I'm saying this, to that Chelsea side, because
I love this.
No, honestly,
this podcast is a Chelsea fan in disguise.
Honestly,
you support Arsenal.
I just remember watching games in that season and just being so frustrated that you don't see them putting a foot wrong, or you don't like. And this was from early doors in the season. You're just thinking that there's no use.
I actually wasn't born when that season happened.
Oh dear.
So you shouldn't even put it down there.
Dear me.
You're making him
so bad.
Look what you've done to him.
I was watching those games. I was locked in.
For the reader was
so
wow.
He turned the TV on himself.
Yeah. With the little dial, you know, hitting the TV for the aerial signal and all that stuff. Dear me.
He was older than John Terry.
That's bad. He wasn't even born. But yeah, I think that Chelsea team for sure.
You know what I think the difficulty is now? is especially with this City team that's just done the 4-peat, something that's never been done before. They've won the treble. But I think it's so difficult to compare a team like that to a team from about 20 years ago, right?
Yeah,
Because
true.
the game is so different now.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, obviously, this City team keep breaking records, right?
Yeah,
the
it's getting ridiculous.
Centurions, the 4-peat, even the treble.
I think the
Manchester
records don't
United.
count though. I think if it was any other team, people would care. If it was Liverpool, Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea, people would care. But because it's City, I don't see any hype around it.
Is this because of the 115
Maybe,
charges
or just
floating over?
or they have no fans.
Do you know what it is as well
Because
with
they
City?
had different
Like,
reasons.
you know, you do have to respect what they've done. Like, okay, maybe they're not the most likable setup or the most likable team, but you know, people talk about the way that they've spent money and all of that stuff. Okay, that's fine, whatever. But spending money does not equal results and leagues and
Yeah.
titles. You know, like
We
the,
know that.
the one. This is
everyone
it.
spends money now.
This
like
is
it's-
it. So it's like the one that you have to respect in it all is Guardiola. Yeah. Like for me, we're talking Sir Alex Ferguson take a step back and Guardiola
say
sort
it,
of
yeah.
step
I
forward.
could say
Now
it.
I think after
could
this
say it.
after this 4-peat
What's going on here, bruv?
It's getting hot.
and after the treble, and I think the fact that he's, you know, La Liga, Bundesliga, and then the Premier League as well, Guardiola's just something different. Like
He is, to be fair.
to
I do see his
consistently
point, bro.
to consistently get.
Last week you weren't saying Pep got what's going on? You weren't saying it
I
last week.
still think, right, I still think Sir Alex edges it, but I can see the argument for Pep being the best without a doubt.
No, of course, even I can, but there is an argument. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That'd be another topic for another day. Trust me.
Fair enough.
Next hot take. Prime Alexis Sanchez is the best winger in the Premier League. And I don't remember who actually said that. I feel bad for them. But whoever said
Definitely
that,
an Arsenal
shout
fan, by the way.
shout out to you. Prime Alexis Sanchez is the best winger in the Premier League. I'd say, I'm ready to vote. 3, 2, 1. Yep, no one agrees.
As an Arsenal fan, you know, witnessing that.
We've been 50 minutes into this podcast. We know you're not an Arsenal fan. I'm telling you that now.
Listen, yeah, I'm a football fan first. Yeah, I can appreciate good football and good clubs. Yeah, but as an Arsenal fan, watching Sanchez, you know, he was like unstoppable that season, or you know, season and a half, 2 seasons. Yeah, but to say prime Alexis Sanchez, I don't like doing that prime argument either, because like for me, like you really measure a player by their longevity, like, and how long they've been good for, because you can pick a handful of different players and say, you know, oh, that one season he played, that prime version of him, he was better than such and such. But it's like, show me the consistency. And like, although he did it consistently at Arsenal, when he went to United, I don't think it really worked out. The move wasn't for him from the off. But yeah, I could probably count on one hand a few
Spot
selections.
on. I think longevity especially is the key there.
Yeah,
But yeah.
fair enough. When would your prime be, or when was your prime?
Me, my prime.
Have you hit your
That
prime?
was time ago, man.
15 years
Nah,
ago.
do you know what? I think maybe, I don't know. It depends what kind of shape I'm in, man. Like the beginning of this season, I was feeling good, and then I went on holiday for 2 weeks, and it just unraveled after
crazy.
that. But yeah, who knows? Maybe this season
Yeah.
we'll see how I'm feeling.
Mine would have been when I was 15.
Would have been, you know, you got time. You got time. Come on,
but
now.
my favourite season was when I was
Fair.
16 playing for Woolstead. I scored about 23 in 12 games.
Jeez.
Yeah. Don't ask how, bro.
That's a return.
And then
That's a
I remember my
return,
dad
wow.
was watching. Yeah, my dad always goes on about this. Because my favourite goal was when you scored from the halfway line. I tell you, I'm telling you, man, that was OP, bro. I don't know what's happened to me. A couple of injuries and that. That's what's happened. All right, next one. Shoud. Big up Shoud. Harry Kane is the best striker in England history.
In English history, so the
Yeah.
best English striker.
The best English striker. Oh, that's a great question, you know.
That's a tough one.
That
That's a tough one.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Oh my god!
And it's
So you guys think he's the best English striker.
So I know what you're going to come back with.
Yeah, everyone's going to know. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to agree with me as well. The trophies.
Yeah. And I get it, obviously, but at the same time, if you look at the individual talent, the individual performances, and to get the numbers that he was getting in a Spurs shirt especially, I think, and she hasn't been an amazing season for Bayern either. He's gone over, they've been struggling, but he's still put up goals. And I don't even think he's near the end of his career by any means. He's about 31, 32 now.
No.
I think he's unbelievable.
Yeah, maybe when he retires, my mind might change. But I'm sorry, there's a certain player who played for Man United.
I was going to say, that's the one that I was expecting.
And he didn't even enjoy playing striker.
Really?
Wayne Rooney.
Yeah.
He's won countless of trophies.
Yeah, and that was the thing that was kind of, where I was umming and ahhing about it, because in terms of like, who would I prefer in my team out of Rooney and Kane? I prefer Wayne Rooney. Yeah,
100%.
but in terms of a striker, out and out goal scorer, number 9, it's Harry Kane. Do you know what I mean? So that's the tough one, because like you say, Wayne Rooney, he's not really that number 9, more of a centre forward, number 10 kind of player. So yeah, in terms of striker, out and out goal scorer, I would probably say Harry Kane.
Alan Shearer not get a shout? Because you were like the same age as me.
I should have expected this. I can't lie. I really should have expected this. Shearer, I didn't. Surprisingly, I didn't really see that much of him. All right, but no, like he's. Yeah, I mean, record Premier League goal scorer as well.
No one's touching that, by the way.
You don't think Kane's coming back?
If he does, it'll be too late.
Yeah.
And if he does, where would he go? See?
I think he could come back and have his pick, really.
Yeah, he'd score regardless.
Yeah.
That is the point. But I think if he comes back, it kind of has to be to Spurs, doesn't it?
Yeah, I can only see him in a Spurs shirt.
He can't come to either of us.
He won't go to Arsenal.
You don't think he'd go to United?
Nah.
See, I think Spurs are a more appealing club than United at the moment. No. Not by much, but I'd say.
I agree. If I was a professional player, I want to go to United. And that's only if I didn't support United. Because I support United, I'd go. Sign me, please. I'd do £1 a week, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Play for free.
Literally. But yeah. So what? Alan Shearer doesn't get any shouts now.
I didn't watch him.
Again, yeah, I haven't seen, I didn't watch enough of him to see. But all I just remember from Shearer was just scoring a goal and just running off with his arm. But nothing well, I can't talk him down because obviously.
Yeah. All right, next one. Samir, he's also been on the podcast. Before this was all video actually. He says Salah doesn't get into the all-time Premier League 11. Mo Salah doesn't touch the Premier League all-time 11.
On the right-hand side.
On the right-hand side.
Yeah, right. Good.
3, 2, 1.
I agree.
I low-key agree as well.
Solely because of his position. I think right-sided midfielder or right winger, if you're picking players for position and you're not trying to shoehorn players into a starting 11, nobody is getting in past Cristiano Ronaldo on the right-hand side of midfield. No, and I think that's where he's. I know he maybe played on the left, and I don't know if he played. I can't remember if he played up top for United. Maybe a handful of times. I don't know, but he was mainly right mid. Right wing. So yeah, he doesn't get in ahead of Ballon d'Or winning CR7.
Yeah. And you say Salah gets into the team.
Yeah.
Why?
I did not think of Ronaldo as well. Right, final player, I'll be wrong.
Why do you not think of the Premier League's greatest player of all time?
Arguably. There we go. That's better.
Just saying, Ronaldo won a Ballon d'Or.
Obviously, I can't justify this now, so let's take Ronaldo out of it. Let's do that quick. And I was racking my brain. I was thinking on the right side, I don't think there's anyone I'd rather take. Goal scoring wise, purely. Even this season, a Liverpool team that hasn't been up to their usual standard.
Yeah.
Obviously, hasn't had as world beaten numbers, but he's still put up decent numbers in that Liverpool team. That as soon as Klopp announced he's leaving, that Liverpool team was ruined, right? So I don't think you can deny how good a player he is.
No, 100%.
He's quality. He is quality. Do you think he's too robotic. Like,
I get what you mean.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that under like a Hazard. You know, he can
Literally.
as a winger, he can just create something. He can break. He's just amazing to watch.
Yeah.
And I think you get that vibe from Vinicius as well. Watching him against Bayern, he's just the way he's skinned.
Who are you comparing Vinicius to?
Hazard.
Oh, Hazard. So
Well,
how's
the
Hazard
way he-
stuck his way to this conversation?
He's always going to be
find a way,
there.
that's
Yeah. No, but the way he skinned Kimmich multiple times,
Yeah.
it's just so good to watch.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I don't think Salah has that entertainment factor.
Yeah.
But I think pure numbers wise, what he's
No,
done.
but
for
I think
Liverpool-
with Salah is you do get that moment though.
Mm.
Like the goal against Man City, the goal against Watford.
like,
Do you know what I mean? He can dance around 5 players, slap one in with his right foot, the tightest corner. So I can see it with Salah, and I've also seen something on Twitter saying Salah isn't really good of a playmaker, and I think that's a myth.
I think also the way Liverpool play is
Yeah.
a factor as well for how much he's allowed to.
Mm.
He's given that creative
Mm,
license
mm.
to
Yeah,
to roam and do what he wants. Obviously Hazard for a long time when he was with us, especially in the later part, it was like do what you want.
Yeah,
Like, 'cause
yeah,
you're,
yeah.
yeah,
you're our best player. Do what you want.
Yeah.
Whereas Hazard, obviously, that Liverpool team, especially past couple of seasons, are really well drilled.
yeah.
Right? I don't know how much free reign he's given to go off and beat
Yeah.
a man,
Yeah.
beat a couple men,
Mm.
and do what he wants.
Mm. But fair enough, that's a good argument. Do you guys have any any hot takes? Because I did ask you to prepare some hot takes.
Did you?
hot takes. I'll give you a hot take.
Go on.
Pep Guardiola could take any of the teams from 1 to 10, top 10 teams, and within 2 seasons he could win a league.
But does he have a transfer budget?
So he's got a budget. It might not be a City budget, but I think if you're talking top 10, they've all got money. They've all got Premier League money. Maybe not the money that he's used to at City, but even at City, I think the myth about them just, like making all these big money signings all the time, it's not like they don't balance the books. Do you know what I mean? In some shape or form.
They're very smart with their signings, is what I find. Gvardiol, Akanji, players like this. These aren't even Kovacic. I obviously loved him when he was with us, but these aren't like the massive names that even we went for. Right? We probably spent more than in the last window, right? Without doubt, we spent $1 billion. And I just think Pep has a way of knowing who he wants and coaching them so well. Akanji's been one of the best centre backs in the league this season.
Yeah.
And when they signed him, no one was.
Exactly.
It wasn't like top transfer
who
target
was
of every
out
big
for
club.
Akanji before Man City signed him? Like,
Exactly.
and that's
No
no
one.
disrespect to the player, but he wasn't like a sought after player. And if you look through their squad, it's not a Galacticos squad made of superstars. He's gone out there and he's picked and curated this
And he's used City's
side.
academy as well.
100%. So it's like, don't get me wrong, they're all elite players, like, top players. But if you play for Pep Guardiola, you play as part of a system,
Yeah.
and I think it does show as well, because when some of these players go off to their international teams, perhaps they don't have the same level of impact that they do. I can speak from experience with, Riyad Mahrez, watching him in an Algeria shirt, where, he's got the license to do what he wants, but because the other players aren't on the same page as him, or, he's not as effective. So I think Guardiola can go into a top 10 team and win a league within 2 years. Maybe 3.
enough.
Maybe if we're going to stretch it to 3. But I just think a manager like that can get the utmost out of every single player that's currently there. And if he sees who he doesn't want, gets rid and replaces.
I hear it,
Yeah, I
but
think.
there's some teams where I would disagree.
Let's look who finished top 10 this season.
Go on, because my team, I don't know.
But I've said this so many times. I think I've said this
it'd be
every
more
time
than
I'm on
3
here.
years. If my team
It's
would be more
about
than 3 years.
it's about the culture at United more than anything. And I
Yeah.
think I say that.
I reckon
literally.
the thing is,
I
I
say
do
this
reckon-
every week.
I do reckon Pep could change the culture of the team, and like you said, he will chop players out of the team, bring in new players. I don't know.
If you look at your squad right now, in terms of like Jadon Sancho, like these players who aren't being used, like as a manager, he knows how to get the best out of players.
It's true.
Yeah? If you had a firing Jadon Sancho, a firing Rashford as well, because all right,
Unless
he's
he's
not.
on form.
Yeah, when he's on form, he's something else. all of these different players, even the midfield, you've got strong core there. Do you know what I mean?
These players, just Rashford, Sancho especially, just remind me of babies. Do you know what I mean? So imagine if a manager like Pep Guardiola comes in now, tries coaching the way he does. I just feel like they're not going to like it.
I think they'd acclimatise. I think they get used to it.
You think so?
I think they do that.
I think when you got a winner like that in front of you and he looks you in the eyes and he says, "We're going to win,"
you can't say no.
Yeah, you're going to say, "You know what? Fair enough. That's my
So
take."
just go back to this hot take. So we're talking. Obviously, everyone knows we finished 1-6. We've got Newcastle United, West Ham, and Palace. So the
Palace.
argument is,
Imagine Palace winning the league 3 years.
You know, with at least saying
If he manages to keep
they're
those
so
two,
good.
and Mateta maybe, because Mateta turned it to prime R9
Yeah,
the last
nice
10
little
games.
purple
I
patch.
don't know how he's done that.
But yeah, I mean, look, up until like 6, obviously. I reckon for
Hey,
most
it's
of
a hot take for a reason. Yeah,
Yeah,
not everyone's
exactly.
going to agree with it. I just think
Are you still like firm about the top 10?
top 10.
Fair. Crystal Palace included.
Crystal Palace, absolutely, man. I think like in terms of like systems, and you look at like Arsenal is a prime example as well. Yeah, we're not a team of world beaters. We're a team of young, talented players. Yeah, don't get me wrong, they're very talented players. But like people say about Arsenal, nobody's really world class at Arsenal. Yeah, although I would argue that
slightly disagree.
Ødegaard is probably up there in terms of world class. I do think world class gets thrown around like
100%.
far too much. But even at Arsenal, you know, the main thing that has changed over the last couple of years is the culture. Like he's turned it around. He's given players like a winning mentality. So I think Pep Guardiola is the next step up from Arteta. Yeah. So I think he's able to do it in a shorter time span than someone like Arteta, who's less experienced.
Know, from an Arsenal fan's perspective, what happened with Emile Smith-Rowe? Because there was a point where I thought he was pretty decent. I thought he had something ahead of him, and I don't know what happened. Obviously,
I think he goes in this transfer window.
Yeah,
I think something's happened behind the scenes. I think maybe an attitude in training or something like that. I think Arteta's seen something that he doesn't like, because at one point he was golden boy and he was looking like, okay, you know, he's got the number 10 shirt now and he's found the net and he's a quality player. In my eyes, he's a quality player, but yeah, I don't know if something's gone on behind the scenes that's like. But
also, competition's quite tough in the squad, though, right?
100%.
Because he couldn't play number 10 over Ødegaard. He couldn't play on the right over Saka.
But does he even get minutes anymore? Like, when's the last time
he played yesterday, but got subbed on, I think, last 10 minutes. So it's like, and I think maybe, you know, when you drop out of the team through injury, because that's what happened. He got injured, like he was, you know, purple patch, got injured, and then when he came back, I think he had to try and fight his way back into the team. And maybe Arteta saw something in there that he didn't like. Yeah. I don't know, but
who knows?
Yeah.
To be fair, the competition is quite tough, though.
Yeah, 100%, especially coming back from injury. It's hard to get back to it.
Thought any hot takes yet?
Nah, bro.
Oh, you're failing us. I'm pretty sure I got one. Ready?
Yeah,
this is from Josh, lifetime Luton supporter. He says Barkley's top 6 midfielders in the Premier League. Well, he was, because he got relegated.
Was you on about just this season?
Yeah, obviously just
form.
Okay, yeah.
Top 6 midfielders in the league. I don't know about top 6 in the league midfielders, but we can do in his position, right?
Number 10.
Like just I don't know where he's been playing actually.
He's been more like an attacking mid, like an 8/10.
When Lokonga was injured, I did see him playing 6 a lot.
Who, Barkley?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's what, like you can play anyway. 6, 8, 10.
That versatility.
Yeah. So what we'll be doing then? Just 10s in general.
Should we do 10? Yeah,
we'll do 10s in general.
Yeah,
Barkley, top 6. What was the question? Top 6 in the league.
Yeah.
Fairs. All right. 3, 2, 1.
I'd say form-wise.
I'm
we narrowed it quite a bit with 10s.
I'm trying to
think now.
I'm still trying to think of the 10s.
Are there even 6 10s in the Premier League? Do you know what I mean?
That's what I mean. He has been amazing this season.
Quality, he has been
very
quality.
good, yeah.
And I think we spoke about Barkley on there before, and I think I said the same thing. When he's at a club where he is the guy, he's a great player. And I think at Everton it was the same. You saw when he came to Chelsea, it didn't quite work out. He had some unfortunate loans and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's gone to Luton, and he's the guy. Like he's the main.
He's Mr. Luton.
Exactly. And you can really see it reflection in his performances. So confident.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this season especially. Obviously they did go down, but they were unlucky to go down.
Does he go down to the Championship with him, or does he?
I feel like he'll stay one more season.
I think he should.
You reckon?
Yeah, he does. I feel like after this season, he does deserve a better club.
I think he's what 30, 31.
Yeah,
I think he just stays there now. If he's found the club.
I feel like he's still got a couple of years in him.
I think so.
think he's thinking after last season, people will clubs will come in for him.
Yeah.
After his form. So yeah, I think he might get his head turned.
He's had so many he's moved around so much. He's had a lot of unsuccessful spells. I think now he's found it looks like he's found his club. I'd say just stay there. And who knows, maybe they'll come back up next season, right?
Did you have a chance?
Maybe.
Oh, no one. What's going on here? Have you thought of one?
Reece James, best right back in the world?
Yeah, okay, next. That's what I'm talking about. Just quickly do that though. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, they ain't no one agreed. Best right back in the world though. Who do you think? Jeremy Frimpong.
I don't know currently, I could always pick like a greatest of all time left back, but right back is always like
Dani Alves?
of all time we're talking.
Yeah, you just said greatest.
I think for me it's either between Dani Alves or Philip Lahm.
Oh, Philip Lahm. That's a shot. Wait, who would you say left back?
Left back, I think it's
So you're gonna say
Ashley Cole?
or Marcelo.
I would have said Marcelo, but that's because we watch more Marcelo than Roberto Carlos.
True.
Yeah.
True.
I think that is a big thing actually when people look
What?
at the players. About whether you'll see people on the internet who might be like our age or even younger talk about Ronaldinho. And it's like, well, you haven't actually watched him.
Yeah.
I think highlight reels especially are dangerous for people's
100%.
opinions on players.
Ronaldinho is your favourite player. That's why I think of Ronaldinho. That's why a lot of people praise him. I still prefer Neymar.
To Ronaldinho.
Yeah.
But again, that's because we
What
watch
about
Neymar.
Yeah,
Robert
fairs.
calls me crazy. He's smiling.
He's grinding his teeth.
Ronaldinho is just magic.
Yeah.
Different, man. Different.
We're moving on now.
Mhm.
It's the first time we're doing this on the At the Time podcast.
Oh dear.
First episode. Know your club. Obviously, it says it there. I've got 10 questions. And this is so you're the first competitor of Know Your Club, yeah.
Okay.
So I've got 10 questions about his favourite club, which is Arsenal. And we'll just see how he does.
We'll see.
Zayn, next week it might be you with
Better not
Chelsea.
be.
Do you know what I mean? Just get yourself prepared.
This is where I
on
get
that.
exposed, but yeah, come
Well,
on.
this will be good though. 10 questions. If you guys support Arsenal, make sure you join in as well. Make sure you let me know how you do. Are you ready, yeah? I want to ask you if you know some of the answers. I want to see if you know as well. But the first question, very easy question. You should
Okay,
know this.
Here we go.
When was Arsenal founded?
Oh, here we go, man. You're giving me a history. 18 something.
Oh my days, good first question.
I'm not a football fan like that, man.
All right.
Is it 18 or is it 19?
It's 18.
Okay, 18.
I should have made them all
92.
6 years off.
Really?
Yeah.
Close.
Fair
Close.
enough. That's you got the first question wrong.
I know we were Woolwich, and then we made
Yeah.
our way across. But
It was 1886.
Should we keep score?
Yeah, go on. Go on. I don't know.
how he sat up and he went nice and easy. Yeah, when was the club founded?
All right, next one should
Come
be
on.
a bit easier
Okay,
because
let's see.
it's
Let's not get 0 out of 10.
multiple choice. Yeah, if you're 0 out of 10, that's just fake fan plastic. Do you
That's
know what I
it. Yeah.
mean? Which club did Bernd Leno sign from?
Signed from.
Yeah, so you got A. Leverkusen,
Okay.
B. Wolfsburg, C. Hoffenheim, or D. Schalke.
I don't even know. Signed from Leverkusen.
Just straight like that. Who just said?
Hoffenheim.
Well, he's got his first point.
Hey!
Leverkusen.
I like the multiple choice. Keep him coming. Keep him coming.
The next one's multiple choice as well.
Yes.
But I can't lie to you. I don't know how to pronounce one of them.
Go on.
We might need to help me.
He said, "Where did Bernd Leno sign from?"
Okay.
I'm not looking forward to the rest of these
I think I can
questions. Go on.
You can say it.
I think so.
Oh, fair. So you answer the question then.
Shut up. Right, we've got Bakary Sagna and Abu Diaby both signed from which club? A. Auxerre, B. Saint Etienne, 3. Bordeaux, or 4. Lens.
So you see how you Algerians can speak a bit of Spanish or French, so it's like Surely you should know this.
Yeah, what are the options again?
Auxerre,
Yeah,
Saint Etienne,
yeah,
Bordeaux,
yeah.
and Lens. If my question's this hard, I'm never coming back, bro.
Terrible, isn't it?
It is crazy.
I'm gonna say
It's not a bad question.
I'm gonna say Saint Etienne.
It's not.
Uh-uh.
It's what?
Auxerre.
Auxerre, okay.
Is that how you say it?
I think so.
Auxerre. Yeah, did you give it a little Auxerre at
Oh.
the end, you know? But,
Got the accent.
All right, question number 4.
okay.
What was the score when Arsenal played Liverpool in the Carabao Cup 1920 season?
Huh? Oh, 19. I thought you said
19.
1920. Like, what's with the history? Carabao Cup didn't
no.
exist back then.
2019 to 2020 season.
2019 to 2020.
That was going into lockdown, right?
I think it was after lockdown. Oh no.
No, it was
No,
before
no.
lockdown, going into lockdown,
Mm.
yeah.
Was
It's
this a big scoreline?
Yeah,
I feel like it's
was-
5-1 Liverpool.
Oh, it's quite memorable. It was a
I said 5-1.
It
5-1
was
Liverpool.
quite a big scoreline.
5-1's quite. Is it bigger than
It was
that?
way bigger.
You're halfway
Swear.
there.
Halfway.
Can you not remember
Go
this
on,
game?
Go on.
It was 5-5.
5-5.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Where
I
everyone
remember
was
that
scoring
Oh,
screamers.
yes, I remember that game. Of course, I remember that game.
I watched the other game. It was United vs Chelsea and Rashford scored a free kick.
Yes,
That was
I
the same
remember
day,
that free kick.
remember?
Oh yeah, I remember that. Puts you under pressure though, doesn't it? When he puts you on the spot.
5-5. It's like trying to pluck out games from nowhere, man. But yeah.
Oh, I can't lie, I do feel bad now. These questions are
Nah,
quite
go
hard.
on. Hit me up. I got 1, so I'm not 0 out of 10, so I'm happy.
In May 2005,
Here we
Arsenal
go.
beat Everton 7-0. Which player scored 1 goal and assisted 3 more that day?
7-0 in 2005. Deary me, I can't even remember that.
You must have been about 42 then.
What year? 2005.
2005.
Scored
went
1
off.
and assisted 3
Mm.
against Everton.
Yeah.
I
Just
don't
throw any player that.
I'm going to go Fabregas?
For sure.
No, I'm not sure.
Go on, you can change your answer if you
Oh,
want.
so that's wrong then.
See, I'm giving him a chance to feel bad.
I don't know.
It's Dennis Bergkamp.
Dennis Bergkamp.
Yeah.
I swear. 2005, yeah.
All right,
It's a
this
while
one,
back.
I feel
Go
like
on.
you should know. I feel
Go
like
on,
every
go on.
Arsenal fan should know this. How many goals did Henry score for Arsenal?
Are people football fans like this? Because I know he's. I know he beat righties.
I'll give you a multiple choice.
Go on.
All right. Is it A, 224,
Okay.
B, 226, C, 228, or D, 230?
Could have come with more interesting options.
Yeah,
bro.
innit? You could have
No.
hit one
Just went up-
sub 200. A little.
Just went up in
We make
increments
it
of
as hard
2.
as possible.
Let's go. I don't know. 224. Why not?
You sure?
No.
You change your answer.
224. I'm sticking with
All
it.
right, it's 228.
228. Sheesh. We're doing great
All right.
here.
You have a couple more questions left. How many goals did Arsenal score this season in the Premier League?
I think 113.
That's so many goals. In the Premier League.
In the Premier League.
Yeah, the Premier League this
Oh,
season.
I think it's 113 goals overall because I
Yeah,
saw
maybe.
I saw a tweet
Yeah.
today, our 113th goal this season.
So take away a couple goals.
I don't
I'll tell you
know.
why it isn't triple digit.
We'll go with 80.
It's between 90 and 100.
Okay. We won't go with 80. We'll go with 92 then.
And it's an odd number.
We'll go with 95.
Oh, you're so close.
7, 97,
so close.
93.
Nah, you're so close. First answer was so close.
Go on.
91.
91. Thanks.
This is awful, by the way.
Somebody check. I believe we've scored 113 goals across
I
the
still
whole
can't
league.
believe it.
Not the
It's
whole
Arsenal
league, the
fan.
whole campaign. We'll see that.
Let us know on the TikTok. Message us on our personals. Can you do better than Anas? Because this is awful.
I know for a fact. I don't know where you dug these questions out from, but
I reckon
asking
it's
me
Arsenal
about Bakary Sanya and Abu Diaby, what clubs they
That's
come
how
from,
we do
bro?
it.
Come on, man.
He'd be on 0, bro.
Or maybe next time it'll make it a bit easier. All right.
Please.
How many times have Arsenal beaten Tottenham? Multiple choice.
Okay.
76, 82, 86, or 92?
Again, it's just a stab in the dark. 86.
You're so close.
Oh.
It was 82.
Go on. How many?
I
you got
actually
left?
feel bad
Two
doing
more.
it.
What year was Wenger appointed as Arsenal manager? You were there. Celebrating.
My guess would be like 2002. But
2002.
Nah, it's 90s, surely. Yeah. I'm just trying to think.
This is shocking. Shocking performance.
Should we
It's
say
relegation
90,
battle.
96?
Google says 96.
yeah, his says 96. There we go.
Right. He's got a question right. Oh,
That's my era.
days.
That's my era.
96. All right, last
Wow.
question.
Okay.
3 out of 10 respectable.
hasn't even
That's
got-
considering I get the last one right.
I
Yeah?
feel like you should.
Go on.
Which club was Patrick Vieira signed from?
Signed from.
Mm.
Is this multiple choice again, or is it just
No.
no.
No, you know, get go.
Signed from? That's a tough one.
I'll give you a clue. I'll give you a massive clue. It's either AC Milan or Inter Milan.
Inter, come on. Is it not?
Is it AC Milan?
Did you not play for Inter?
I think he did after Arsenal.
There you go. That threw me off. There.
Damn. Shocking
That
performance.
was
Show the
pretty
camera
poor.
the score. So the green lines are the what questions got right, and the red circles are the incorrect questions.
Maybe I should have some Chelsea
We're
questions.
getting
Maybe I do.
We're getting a fact check on some of them.
I don't look at the Wenger one, man. That's the only one that I've.
We're getting a fact check. on
Yeah,
some of them.
I think I need some Chelsea questions for next time. But
I'm not looking forward to the Chelsea questions, bro. When he puts you on the spot, you just can't think in it.
I can't lie though. These are like advanced questions.
I feel like you knew your stuff. That's right. You might get a part two.
I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm not a
hardcore Arsenal.
diehard Arsenal fan.
I mean,
you
we've
know?
done like quizzes and stuff, and even when he puts you on the spot, it's just something you should know.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just don't know it. Obviously, these were difficult.
I was
Yes.
expecting you to get about 5.
I'm glad I got
6,
the Wenger one. Just.
7. Yeah,
Just.
I guess so. But that's been the end of the podcast. Very excellent podcast. I hope to have
Unbelievable.
you again, Anas.
So what a
Maybe
way
soon.
to end on a high as well, by the way.
Yeah, shocking performance.
It's all good. It's all good.
All
Next
the Arsenal
time.
fans are coming after you right now.
Same
Oh, he
as
doesn't know his
I'm
club.
sorry,
he doesn't
guys.
know
I'm
his
sorry.
club.
I'm sorry.
We
They
laugh,
love
we-
typing.
Yeah,
Oh.
trust me.
Yeah.
But till next time, till next week, take care. Love.